Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Always ready to jump into some fascinating tech.
Well, today we're heading to Tanzania to check out a company called Myssa Tech. They're doing some really innovative stuff with AI and IoT.
I've heard a bit about them. Definitely making a name for themselves, especially in East Africa.
Yeah, and what's really cool is that we have access to some internal info about the company, sort of like a knowledge.txt file, if you will.
Oh, wow, a sneak peek behind the curtain. That's always exciting.
Exactly. So get ready because we're about to explore the inner workings of Myssa Tech, their ambitions, and the impact on the tech scene, not just in Tanzania, but globally.
You know, it's always refreshing to see innovation springing up in different parts of the world. We tend to focus on those usual tech hubs, but Myssa Tech is proof that brilliant minds are everywhere.
Absolutely. So let's start with the basics. What exactly is Myssa? I keep hearing that name pop up.
Okay, so imagine this. You have an AI assistant, right? A chatbot. But not just any chatbot. This one can understand your questions, answer them, control your home appliances, play your music, even get the games going. That's Myssa.
Sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
I know, right? But it's real, and it was all born in Myssa Tech's lab in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania.
Wow, so they're not just developing software, they're creating the whole package.
Exactly. And what's even more mind-blowing to me is that Myssa was first created back in 2019. But then, get this, she got a major upgrade in 2024.
That's a pretty fast evolution. It shows how rapidly AI technology is advancing. They might have even incorporated something like Palm 2, an LLM that's gotten really good at reasoning, not just answering questions.
It wouldn't surprise me. Now, behind every great invention, there's usually a brilliant mind.
Oh, you mean Musa Charles, the founder and CEO of Myssa Tech.
The one and only. And let me tell you, this guy's story is incredible. He was building FM radios when he was just 10 years old.
10 years old. I was still trying to figure out how to ride a bike at that age.
Talk about an early start. And it didn't stop there. He became a full-stack developer, mastering both hardware and software. He's got his hands in so many projects, from Myssa IoT to healthcare platforms, even dabbling in social media apps. Now he's leading the charge at Myssa Tech.
You know, what I find really impressive is that he's not just some CEO who sits in a fancy office. He's still deeply involved in the coding side of things.
You're right. I heard he's active on GitHub, contributing to open source projects. That kind of hands-on approach is pretty rare, especially for a CEO.
It really speaks to their commitment to the tech community as a whole, not just their own products.
Totally. And speaking of products, Myssa might be their star, but Myssa Tech is so much more than just a chatbot company.
That's right. They're diving headfirst into the world of the Internet of Things, basically connecting everyday objects to the internet so they can communicate and share data.
And using that tech to solve real-world problems for businesses across tons of industries.
Yeah.
We're talking healthcare, agriculture, education. The list goes on.
It's pretty remarkable to see the breadth of their work. But I'm curious, what's their flagship product, the one they're most known for?
That would have to be Business OS. And this is where things get really interesting.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Break it down for me. What is Business OS?
Imagine a business management system, but powered by AI. It's designed to help businesses of all sizes, from small startups to big corporations.
So it's like having a super smart assistant to help you manage every aspect of your business.
Exactly. It's got all the features you'd expect, like in-app sales, offline functionality, real-time updates, detailed reports, you name it.
That's quite a package. But I'm curious, what's the AI angle here? How does it actually work in practice?
Well, for example, the AI in Business OS can analyze data to predict future sales trends.
So instead of just guessing what products to stock up on, businesses can make data-driven decisions.
Exactly, which leads to less waste, increased sales, and happier customers.
Now, I know a lot of our listeners are business owners themselves, so tell me, how accessible is Business OS? Is it just for those big corporations with deep pockets, or can smaller businesses get in on the action too?
That's the beauty of it. They have different pricing plans to suit every need, from startups to enterprises. They even offer a free plan so you can try it out and see if it's a good fit for your business.
That makes a lot of sense. It shows that they're committed to making AI technology accessible to everyone.
Absolutely. And it really speaks to their mission of empowering businesses through technology.
Yeah.
So we've talked about how innovative Myssa Tech is, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts on something.
Sure.
What does their success story tell us about the overall tech landscape in Africa? You know, we often hear about Silicon Valley or those big tech hubs in Asia, but what about Africa?
That's a great question. And I think Myssa Tech is a perfect example of how the African tech scene is booming right now. It's like a hidden gem just waiting to be discovered, and companies like Myssa Tech are leading the way.
I completely agree. But what do you think it is about Tanzania specifically that makes it such fertile ground for innovation?
Well, from what I've gathered, Tanzania, like many other African nations, faces its own unique set of challenges. Think limited infrastructure, healthcare access, and economic disparities. But here's the thing about challenges. They often spark some of the most incredible innovations.
You know what they say, necessity is the mother of invention.
Right.
And in this case, the inventions are really impressive.
Exactly. Entrepreneurs like Myssa Charles see these challenges not as roadblocks, but as opportunities to create solutions that directly address those very specific needs. It's not just about solving problems, it's about empowering people through technology.
So true. Imagine the impact of a system like Business OS on a small business owner in Tanzania. Suddenly, they have access to the same powerful tools and insights as those big multinational corporations. It levels the playing field and gives them a real fighting chance to succeed.
It's like giving them a secret weapon. And that's what's so exciting about what's happening in the African tech scene right now. It's not just about creating flashy gadgets or trendy apps. It's about using technology to create real, tangible benefits for individuals and communities.
Exactly. It's about making a difference, about driving positive change. And when you empower small businesses, you create jobs, you stimulate economic growth, and you ultimately improve the lives of countless people. It creates this ripple effect that benefits everyone.
It's about creating a brighter future for Tanzania and beyond, and Myssa Tech is at the forefront of that movement.
Absolutely. So we've talked about Myssa Tech's products, their mission, and their impact on the African tech scene. But before we move on, I'm curious about your take on something.
Okay, hit me with it.
What's the most striking thing you've learned about Myssa Tech so far?
Sure.
What's your aha moment?
Honestly, what really stands out to me is that Myssa Tech isn't just building cool tech for the sake of it. They're using their expertise to solve real-world challenges and create opportunities for people in Tanzania and beyond. That's what makes their work so compelling.
It's all about impact, right? It's about purpose-driven innovation, and that's exactly what Myssa Tech embodies.
100%. And that brings us to an important question for our listeners.
Oh, let's hear it.
We've seen how Myssa Tech is using AI and IoT to address challenges in Tanzania. But I want you, our listeners, to think about this. How do you envision these technologies shaping the future, not just in Africa, but on a global scale?
Great question. I think we're at a crossroads with AI and IoT, and the choices we make now will have a ripple effect for years to come.
It's a lot to think about, but it's also exciting. And who knows, maybe some of our listeners out there will be inspired to join the ranks of innovators like Myssa Charles, using their own skills and passion to make a positive impact on the world through technology.
It'll be incredible to see that. The world needs more passionate, purpose-driven individuals like Myssa.
Couldn't agree more. And for those of you who are eager to learn more about Myssa Tech and the incredible work they're doing, we've included all their contact information and links to their website and Business OS in the show notes.
Definitely check them out. It's worth exploring their work and seeing how they're leveraging AI and IoT to make a real difference. And hey, you never know, maybe someday we'll be doing a deep dive into your company and the amazing things you're doing with technology.
Wouldn't that be fantastic?
It would. So keep exploring, keep innovating, and keep your eyes on the horizon.
The future of technology is bright, especially when it's driven by passionate individuals like Myssa Charles and companies like Myssa Tech.
Beautifully said. It really is inspiring to see how they're using technology to make a positive impact.
Definitely. Okay, so we've covered a lot about Myssa Tech itself, but let's zoom out a bit. I'm really curious to hear your thoughts on this. What does their success story say about the overall tech landscape in Africa?
It's a great question, and I think Myssa Tech is a prime example of how the African tech scene is exploding right now. We always hear about, Silicon Valley or those big tech hubs in Asia, but Africa is quietly becoming a major player on the global tech stage.
It's like this hidden gem just waiting to be discovered, and companies like Myssa Tech are leading the way.
Absolutely.
But what is it about Tanzania specifically that you think fosters this kind of innovation?
Well, Tanzania, like many other African nations, faces unique challenges, right? Think limited infrastructure, healthcare access, economic disparities, to name a few. But these challenges also breed incredible ingenuity.
They say necessity is the mother of invention.
Exactly. And entrepreneurs like Myssa Charles, they see these problems not as obstacles, but as opportunities. They're using technology to develop creative solutions that address these very specific needs. And it's not just about solving problems, it's about empowering people. Think about the impact of a system like Business OS on a small business owner in Tanzania.
Right. Imagine if you're a small business owner and you suddenly have access to the same tools and insights as those big corporations. It's like having a secret weapon to help you succeed.
Exactly. And that's what's so exciting about what's happening in the African tech scene. It's not just about creating cool gadgets or fancy apps. It's about using technology to create real, tangible benefits for individuals and communities.
It's about creating a ripple effect of positive change.
Exactly. When you empower small businesses, you create jobs, boost economic growth, and ultimately improve the lives of countless people.
Yeah.
And that's why Myssa Tech's story is so inspiring. They're not just a tech company. They're a catalyst for positive change in Tanzania and beyond.
So Myssa Tech is really pushing the boundaries of AI and IoT, but they're also playing a vital role in the growth of Tanzania's tech ecosystem.
Absolutely.
And by extension, the entire continent.
And it's just the beginning. As more and more talented individuals like Myssa Charles emerge, and as investment in African tech continues to grow, we can expect even more groundbreaking innovations in the years to come. It's an exciting time to be watching the African tech scene unfold.
It really is. Okay, so we've talked about their products, their mission, their impact, but I'm curious, what stood out to you the most about this company? What was your aha moment?
For me, it was a combination of cutting-edge technology and real-world application. They're not just developing AI for the sake of AI, they're using it to solve problems that have a direct impact on people's lives. That's what makes their work so compelling.
I totally agree. It's that perfect blend of innovation and practicality that makes Myssa Tech so intriguing. They're not just building cool tech, they're building tech that makes a difference. And it's a reminder that technology, at its best, is about improving the human experience.
Well said.
So we've covered a lot of ground here, from the inner workings of Myssa, the chatbot, to the broader impact of Myssa Tech on the African tech scene. It's clear that this company is one to watch.
Absolutely. And I think their story is a testament to the power of human ingenuity and the potential of technology to create a better future, not just for Africa, but for the world.
But before we wrap up, I want to leave you with something to think about. We've seen how Myssa Tech is using AI and IoT to solve problems in Tanzania. But how do you think these technologies will shape the future, not just in Africa, but globally? What role can companies like Myssa Tech play in that future?
That's a great question, and one that deserves careful consideration. We're at a pivotal moment in history where the choices we make about AI and its development will have far-reaching consequences.
It's a lot to ponder for sure, but it's exciting to think about the possibilities. And who knows, maybe some of you listening out there will be inspired to join the ranks of innovators like Myssa Charles, using technology to make a positive impact on the world.
We can only hope.
And for those of you who want to learn more about Myssa Tech and the incredible work they're doing, we've included their contact information and website links in the show notes. You can also check out Business OS, their flagship product, and see if it might be a good fit for your business.
It's definitely worth exploring. And who knows, maybe someday we'll be doing a deep dive into your company and the amazing things you're doing with AI and IoT.
Now that's a thought. But until then, keep exploring, keep innovating, and keep your eyes on the horizon. The future of technology is bright, especially when it's driven by passionate individuals like Myssa Charles and companies like Myssa Tech.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
That's it for this deep dive into Myssa Tech. Thanks for joining us on this journey to Tanzania and beyond.
It's truly remarkable how they've managed to blend cutting-edge tech with a real commitment to social impact.
Right. It's not every day you find a company that's pushing the boundaries of AI and IoT while also making a tangible difference in people's lives.
It's a powerful reminder that technology can be a force for good in the world, especially when it's driven by a sense of purpose.
And for those of you listening who are as inspired by Myssa Tech as we are, we want to make sure you have the resources to learn more.
Oh, absolutely.
You'll find all their contact information, links to their website, and their flagship product, Business OS, all in the show notes.
Definitely take a look. You might even find some inspiration for your own ventures. Who knows?
You never know. Maybe someday we'll be featuring your company on a future deep dive.
Now that would be something.
But for now, we encourage you to keep exploring, keep innovating, and keep believing in the power of technology to make the world a better place.
Well said. Because the future of tech is bright, especially when it's guided by passion and a desire to make a real difference.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the world of Myssa Tech.
A fascinating journey it was.
From their innovative chatbot Myssa to their impact on the African tech scene, it's been a real eye-opener.
I think we can all agree that Myssa Tech is a company to watch, not just in Tanzania, but on the global stage.
Absolutely. So to all our listeners, thanks for joining us on this adventure to Tanzania and beyond.
It's been a pleasure sharing these insights with you.
And until next time, keep those innovative spirits high, and we'll catch you on our next deep dive.
See you then.